80 degrees and sunny here on a beautiful afternoon for baseball in Annapolis as we welcome you out to Max Bishop Stadium for Game 3 of the Patriot League tournament between the Army Black Knights and the Navy Midshipmen. Hello again, everyone. I'm Ben Gordon-Goldstein. We'll have Morgan Uber from the sidelines in just a few minutes. Well, Navy won yesterday to force the decisive Game 3 here this afternoon after Army was able to take it to Navy's ace on Friday night, win Game 1 6-2, but Navy with a big bounce-back victory yesterday, winning 4-2, and it was the sophomore Jared Lines who was tremendous once again yesterday for Navy. 8 innings, 2 runs, 4 hits. He struck out 8, a career-high 8 innings for Lines as he picked up the victory there for Navy, who scored 3 runs in the top half of the second inning and used those 3 runs to pace themselves to the 4-2 victory. Well, Navy has just taken the field. We'll have the national anthem, so we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll hear from Morgan Uber on the sidelines, then get you the starting lineup.
We are just moments away from the first pitch here today. Army-Navy, a decisive Game 3. Yesterday for Navy, it all started on the mound, and it's Charlie Conley's turn to repeat that success today. He hasn't pitched, though, since May 5th, but in his last 10 innings of work, he does have 17 strikeouts. Coach Costacopoulos told me he has an aggressive fastball and a really good slider when that command is on. The last time he faced Army, he went just 3 innings. So Coach Costacopoulos said he's very hopeful and confident that he's going to get much more out of his starter today.
Thanks, Morgan. Yeah, command is the key here for Conley this afternoon. He walked 4 more batters 4 times this season. He had a stretch in the middle of the Patriot League schedule where against Holy Cross and Lehigh, he walked a combined 11 batters in 2 outings. But as you said, strikeout numbers pretty good for him against Lafayette in his final regular season start in Patriot League play. 7 innings, 1 run, 3 hits. He struck out 9 in that game, and then against Longwood in an out-of-conference game after the regular season, and he struck out 8 and 3 no-hit innings. So Conley, the key for him this afternoon against Army is the command, and we'll keep an eye on that from the beginning of the ball game. Let's get you now the starting lineup that Conley will be going up against for Army here in Game 3. And leading off will be the center fielder, Jacob Hurtubise. Batting second will be the shortstop, Josh White. Anthony Jaquin in the 3-hole plays third base. Andre Walden, left fielder, is the cleanup batter. Jeremiah Adams, first base, bats 5th. The DH, John McKenna, hits 6th. Batting 7th will be the second baseman, Tim Simos. Hitting 8th, the catcher, Blake Ledoux. And batting 9th will be the right fielder, Drake Titus. That starting lineup again goes up against the sophomore, Charlie Conley. Overall, for him, 12th start of the year, 14th appearance, 4-3 with a 3.74 earned run average. And facing Hurtubise here to begin the ball game. First pitch to Hurtubise is upstairs for a ball, and the count's 1-0. Well, we talked about the command for Conley being the key, and a guy in Hurtubise who will certainly put him to the test and make him throw a strike. Hurtubise walks more than anybody in the conference and just about more than anybody in the nation. 63 walks on the year coming into this game, and quickly he's ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Overall for Hurtubise, 367 batting average, no home runs, 24 runs batted in. He extended his hitting streak yesterday and his on-base streak. Now 36 consecutive games he's reached base and a 13-game hitting streak. And the count quickly, 3 balls and no strikes. And a guy in Hurtubise who gets on base over 50% of the time on the season. And would imagine he's going to be taking all the way here on a 3-0 pitch. Conley does deliver it high and away. Ball 4 pitches out of the zone, and Hurtubise is immediately on to begin the ball game. 37 consecutive games that he has reached base, and now, in addition to dealing with the lineup for Army, Conley's going to have to keep a close eye on Hurtubise, who has stolen 41 bases this season. Stevens will hold him on over at first base. And Josh White, who makes his 2nd consecutive start in place of Trey Martin. Stand in, should bunt at the first pitch, and then the ball rides way in on him. And the count's 1-0. So 5 consecutive pitches out of the zone here for Conley to begin the ball game, and the senior catcher Christian Hodge is going to go out and have a word here with Conley. Jacob Williamson at third in on the grass in case White tries to lay down a bunt. Conley working out of the stretch. Hurtubise holds, pitch for strike of the ball game there for Conley, and the count's evened up at 1-1. For White, 2 for 4 yesterday. So played some pretty good defense over at short, even though he did get tagged with an error. Now toss the first, and Hurtubise back to the bag standing up. So Hurtubise had 2 hits yesterday. Also reached on a fielder's choice, so he had opportunities to try to run. And now another toss over there, and he dives back into the bag safely. He took off once yesterday, and that was on a ball that was put in play. Holding here, pitches bunted foul, and now 2 strikes on White. Army trying to get off to that fast start. Team that scored first has won both of these games so far. Navy scored first yesterday in the top of the 3rd inning. Top of the 2nd inning, scoring 3 runs, and in game 1, it was Army getting out to the quick start. They scored 5 runs over the first 2 innings off of Noah Swung with their 3-hole batter, Anthony Jeopardy, who waits on deck now, knocking in all 5 runs in the first 2 innings of game 1. Here, White was trying to move Hurtubise into scoring position for Jeopardy. Now 2 strikes on him. Runner going, pitch is taken up high for a ball, throw it onto second, air-mailed and goes into center field. Nicely backed up there by Samorian, but it's another stolen base for Hurtubise. Make it 42 on the season, and a runner in scoring position here with nobody out in the top of the 1st inning. Another look there, good jump by Hurtubise on the 2-strike pitch, and don't think they would have had a chance to get him even with a good throw. So 2-2 now on White. Hurtubise now in scoring position, and Conley's going to look him back to second now. Kritz just kind of creeping into your picture there from short, holding Hurtubise as close as he can to the bag over at second. Now the 2-2 jammed, and he fouls it off, and it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes here to White. Now the pitch to him, swing and a miss. He struck him out. So the first out here on the top of the 1st inning. White down on strikes. During the at-bat, though, that he was trying to move the runner over to second. Hurtubise did get into scoring position, so kind of the same result as if White had put down a clean sack bunt. 1 out, runner at second, and Jeopardy, Patriot League leader in runs batted in, will stand in trying to give Army the early lead. Left-handed batter against Conley, the right-hander. Continues to keep a close eye on Hurtubise, and now we'll look him back. Conley taking his time here with the runner on base. Now his first pitch to Jeopardy is up high, and it's 1-0. Jeopardy, 327 batting average, 6 home runs, 66 runs batted in. Navy did hold him hitless yesterday, though. He went 0 for 4. Now the pitch to him is hit on the ground foul for space side, and it's evened up at 1-1. Navy did a good job of also taking care of the batters in front of Jeopardy in yesterday's game. He only came to the plate with a runner on base once. That was in the 8th inning. He was the last batter that Lines faced, and Lines struck him out to finish off 8 innings of 2-run ball. Pickoff attempt at second. Hurtubise dives back in. warm weather here, temperatures in the low 80s, humid conditions, wind blowing out towards left center field, so ball should carry. And the pitch here is a called strike, and now it's 1-2. So Conley trying to settle in here after that 4-pitch walk to begin the game to Hurtubise. It's Conley. Another look back at second. And here's the 1-2 delivery. Got a piece of that one and fouled it off at the plate. Staying alive, and it remains 1-2. So Jeopardy, for 4 game yesterday, had his streak of 5 consecutive games with an RBI snapped. He had 12 RBIs during that stretch, including 5 in game 1. And now here's the 1-2 pitch outside with a fastball, and it's evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. But imagine here, winner take all game 3, that while Navy like to get a few innings out of Conley, the leash is going to be short. Be interesting to see who will be first out of their pen in this game. As the pitch, grounder right side, that's going to get through the hole for a base hit. Hurtubise around third. He will score without a throw. It's an RBI single for Anthony Jeopardy, his 6th RBI of the series, and Army leads it 1-0 here in the first.
Now batting for 4, Walden.
Just seems like every time Jeopardy comes to the plate with runners on base, at least runners in scoring position, he comes through. And even with 2 strikes on him here in the first inning, the Patriot League leader in runs batted in gets the base hit through the right side. Now the pitch here to Walden is taken for a strike, and the count is 0-1. So Walden, the cleanup hitter, 0 for 3 with a walk yesterday. Saw both corner outfielders yesterday make some pretty good defensive plays. Each, Walden and Titus, had an outfield assist at the plate. Pitch here. Taken down low, and it's a ball and a strike here to Walden. 282 hitter coming into this game, 5 home runs, 40 runs batted in. So the 1-1 delivery to him inside, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Deep counts here. Conley falling behind just about everybody except Jeopardy, who ended up coming back to get the RBI single, but he is having to throw a lot of pitches here in the top half of the first inning. Now the 2-1 pitch is upstairs, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike to Walden. A sophomore, as far as eligibility goes, first year at Army after transferring from Hillsborough Community College. Now the pitch showed bunt, pulled back, it's a ball, up and in. 5-pitch walk issued by Conley. His 2nd walk here at the top of the first, and runners at first and second, and gonna have an early mound visit here from Bobby Applegate. Well, that was the key for Conley coming into this game. How was he going to be able to command his pitches? Seen command elude him at times this year. 4 more walks 4 times this season. He's walked 3 or more batters 7 times. And this is his 12th start of the season. He's already walked 2 here in the top of the first inning. Walk to Hurtubise, has come back to hurt him as Hurtubise has come around to score. And Bobby Applegate trying to settle down his sophomore starter, Conley. And now we'll work with runners at first and second and one out, and Jeremiah Adams, the first baseman, will come to the plate. Pitch up high. Counts 1-0. Another first pitch ball here from Charlie Conley. Jeopardy down at second, Walden over at first. Already a run in here in the top of the first inning, and now the 1-0 delivery. Big cut and a miss. That's evened up at 1-1. Adams, 246 hitter, 3 home runs, 32 runs batted in. An 0 for 3 game yesterday. Army had only 4 hits yesterday, all of them coming off the bats of Josh White and Jacob Hurtubise. Pitch, that's another strike, and Conley gets ahead of Adams, a ball and 2 strikes. Army won game 1 on Friday night. Navy winning yesterday to force this afternoon's game. Winner take all game 3. Pitch in the dirt. The count's evened up now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Conley was not able to last very long the last time he faced Army on April 20th. 3 innings, 2 runs, 3 hits. He walked 3 in that game. He also threw 2 wild pitches. A 60 pitch outing. Now here's his 2-2 pitch. Check swing, appeal to first. He did not go, and now the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So another deep count here for Conley. 3-2 with 2 on and 1 out, and already a run in here in the top of the first inning. He sets, runners go, 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out, throw it on to third, is in time. They got him. Williamson applying the tag on the shoulder of Jeopardy. It was a little bit of a high throw from Hodge, but Williamson makes another nice play, gets the tag down, and after all of that, Conley ends up allowing just the 1 run here in the top of the first inning. They get a run on a hit, and they leave a runner on base.
Army leads 1-0 here in the bottom of the first, and now it's Army pitcher Daniel Burgraff's turn. And Coach Foster told me before this game 3 there's no one else that they would rather have out here in this situation. He's a senior captain, and Burgraff's biggest strength is what every coach really wants from their starting pitcher: solid fastball command. He throws for a strike 70% of the time. He's effective up in the zone. 2 times as many flyouts as groundouts. Last weekend, he pitched in Game 3 versus Holy Cross, so he's been in this situation before, in a must-win or go-home situation. There's no game or situation too big for him, is what this whole coaching staff told me.
Thanks, Morgan. Yeah, Burgraff getting the win last week in Game 3 against Holy Cross. 6 innings, a run on 2 hits, and that 5-3 victory through 112 pitches in that game. And so now taking the mound here with a 1-0 lead. Evan Lowry will be the first one to face him here in the bottom of the first inning, as Navy has Lowry back in the leadoff spot. Koritz, the shortstop, to follow, and then Zack Biggers, the second baseman, due up here in the bottom half of the first inning. As a strike called, and it's evened up at 1-1. Rest of the lineup remains pretty much the same, except Matt Wolf is the right fielder batting 8th today, so he gets into the lineup as Lowry hits that on a couple of hops sharply to second. Simo's a nice pick and throws to first, and Lowry is retired here in the bottom of the first inning. So the rest of the lineup: Koritz stands in, the shortstop at second. Biggers, the second baseman, hits third. Zach Stevens, the first baseman, in the cleanup spot. Christian Hodge, the catcher, bats 5th. Liam Lowry, DHing today, hits 6th. Jacob Williamson will bat 7th and play third base, and then Matt Wolf and Joe Samorian round out the starting lineup. As pitch there is taken for a strike, and the count is 0-1. So Burgraff, who has won 5 of his last 6 starts, getting the start for the 2nd straight week in a winner-take-all ball game. The count's evened up at 1-1 to Koritz. 5-2 on the year, 2.96 ERA. Is that one hit on the ground to short? White is right there, and a couple of ground ball outs for Burgraff to begin things. 2 up and 2 down, and that'll bring up Zack Biggers to the plate.
Now batting number 2, Zack Biggers.
Defense for Army remains the same as yesterday. Outfield, Andre Walden in left, Jacob Hurtubise in center, Drake Titus in right. Both of those corner outfielders with outfield assists in yesterday's game. As the first pitch here to Biggers is over the inside corner for a strike, and the count is 0-1. Infield, Jeopardy at third, Josh White plays short, Tim Simos is the second baseman, and Jeremiah Adams at first with Ledoux catching Burgraff, who gets a shallow fly ball out towards right. Titus right there, and an extremely quick 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom half of the first inning. So Burgraff sets the side down in order in the first. Go to the second, it's a 1-0 Army lead over Navy. Ben Gordon-Goldstein back with you, with Morgan Uber on the sidelines here for the decisive Game 3 of the Patriot League Championship Series. And Army getting that run in the top of the first inning off the bat of Anthony Jeopardy, who now has 6 runs batted in the 3 games. And Charlie Conley back out for his second inning of work, trying to settle into this one. Got a little help from the defense there in the top of the first inning on the strike him out, throw him out to end the inning, with Army starting the runners on a 3-2 pitch and 1 out. John McKenna will lead things off here in the second, and the first pitch to him down and away for a ball, and the count's 1-0. For Conley, a 27-pitch first inning in which he threw just 12 strikes. Now the 1-0 is up and in, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Walked 2 batters in the inning. Did get a couple of strikeouts as well in that first inning, but continues to fall behind hitters and put himself in a tough situation. And now behind McKenna, 2-0. And the pitch here is swinging away, and he fouls it off to the right. And it counts 2-1. McKenna 0 for 2 yesterday. Struck out a couple of times before being taken out for a pinch hitter. Now the 2-1 pitch up high, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike as Conley, Jeopardy of walking the leadoff batter for the second consecutive inning. He walked Hurtubise to start the ball game on 4 pitches, and then Hurtubise came around to score the first run of the game. 3-1 high, and it's the second straight inning that Conley starts things off with a walk. 3rd walk already in this ball game for Charlie Conley, and Tim Simos will come to the plate. So now 32 pitches and only 13 strikes for Conley. See how quickly Navy will get action up in the pen and how long they'll allow Conley to go if he can't find the command. Simos showing bunt and takes a ball up and in, and the count's 1-0. Set again shows bunt, pulls back. This time it's called strike, and it's evened up at 1-1. Simos, 261 hitter on the year, home runs, 16 runs batted in. He has 3 sack bunts and looks to be trying to move another runner into scoring position. Does square, lays it down at the first base line. Conley picks it up. He'll take the shore out over at first. Moves McKenna over to second base as Simos the successful sacrifice bunt. And for the second consecutive inning, Army has a runner in scoring position and less than 2 outs as Blake Ledoux, the catcher, will come to the plate. Army a chance now to score in each of the first 2 innings. They did that in game 1. The first pitch is a strike, and the count's 0-1 here to Ledoux. Scored 2 runs in the first inning, game 1, and then 3 runs in the second inning of game 1. Took that 5-0 lead on Noah Swung, and even though Swung came back and didn't allow another run through 7 innings of work, the Navy offense couldn't get enough going. Army took game 1, and then Navy bounced back with the game 2 victory yesterday. Counts evened up at a ball and a strike here to the catcher Ledoux. 245 hitter, no home runs, 12 runs batted in. Pickoff attempt here, and diving back in just ahead of the tag is McKenna. Ritz trying to sneak in behind him. Pretty much everybody on this Army team will run at times. McKenna's 4 for 4 in stolen base attempts this year. 118 stolen bases as a team, with the Hurtubise steal in the first. So that's a strike called. And it's 1-2. So Conley 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, an RBI single allowed, and a sac bunt. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Little jam shot over the right side. First baseman Stevens will field. Conley covering the bag, and they're able to retire Ledoux. On the play, McKenna moves over to third base, but now 2 away, and Drake Titus will come to the plate.
Now batting for Drake Titus.
So with 2 outs in the second, Conley has already thrown 39 pitches. On the other side, Burgraff needed just 8 pitches to work through a 1-2-3 bottom half of the first inning. There's Navy back to being the home team after Army designated the home team for game 2. So technically the home team has lost both of the games so far in this 3-game set, and Army, as the visiting team, has the early lead in this one. Now a runner at third. 1-0 count here to Drake Titus. The pitch to him is taken down and in, and it counts 2 balls and no strikes. Titus, 239 hitter, no home runs, 19 runs batted in. Keep an eye on is the wild pitch. Last time Conley faced Army, he did throw a couple of wild pitches. Got that runner at third. So the pitch here is over for a strike, and it's 2-1. So McKenna, who drew the leadoff walk over at third base. Conley's 2-1 delivery. That's a bouncer towards short. Kurtz will wait back on it, fire it across, and it's in time. And Conley this time able to work around that leadoff walk here in the top half of the second inning. So Conley, another inning in which he has to use quite a few pitches, but this time does not allow a run, no hits, and they leave 1 runner on base. We'll head to the bottom half of the second. Go to the bottom half of the second inning, 1-0. Army leading Navy here. Game 3 of the championship series in the Patriot League. As Army trying to become the 6th back-to-back winner of the Patriot League tournament since the league was formed in '91. It's the first pitch here of the second inning by Burgraff is taken for a strike, and the count's 0-1. Burgraff, the 1-2-3 inning in the first, so 4-5-6-2 up against him here in the second, and very quickly puts Stevens, the cleanup batter, in the hole. 0-2. Stevens, Hodge, Lowry. The pitch jammed him, and it's hit foul, and it counts 0-2. Army last year winning the Patriot League tournament in a sweep here in Annapolis. Took both games from Navy. Navy last won the Patriot League tournament in 2016 as the pitch up high, and it's 1-2. And last back-to-back winners of the tournament was Army, 2012, 2013. So Army trying to do that again. It's a pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. Stevens down on 4 pitches, and Burgraff has retired all 4 that he's faced so far in this game. So the senior Burgraff certainly looks comfortable early on in this game. Pitched in the same situation last weekend at Holy Cross on the road, game 3. First pitch to Hodge is outside, and the count's 1-0. And that was a game where he had to wait through quite a long rain delay. That game 3 for Army and Holy Cross last Sunday didn't start till about 9 o'clock, and they didn't finish until after midnight. Waited basically all day on Sunday for the rain to clear out from Worcester, Massachusetts. Pitch here popped them way up foul and out of play, and it's 2-1. So they were able to beat Holy Cross in 3 games. Navy got here by sweeping Lafayette last weekend. They did need 12 innings to finish off Lafayette in game 2, but scored 8 runs in the top of the 12th inning of that game. The pitch outside, and now it's 3-1 to Hodge. So Navy the sweep, Navy the regular season winner of the Patriot League, 18-7 conference play. Army ended up finishing 3rd, 15-10 in league play, as Hodge hits another one way up in the air and out of play. And now the count's full here to the Patriot League Player of the Year in 2019, Christian Hodge. Of the conference in home runs. In 52 runs and is hitting 300 right on the nose and draws a walk, so he's the first base runner of the ball game here for Navy. And Liam Lowry will come to the plate. Burgraff on the year, only 19 walks in 76 innings of work. Very good command from the senior starter. Puts one on here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Here's the DH, Liam Lowry. And the first pitch to him is outside, and the count is 1-0. Lowry, another multi-hit game for him. 2 for 4 with an RBI yesterday. Also scored a run. Knocked in a run in an 0 for 3 game in game 1. Had a sac fly. Now it's 2 balls and no strikes. Only the 1-0 lead. Hurtubise drew a walk to start the ball game, stole 2nd, and then scored on a Jaquin RBI single. Now the 2-0 delivery fouled off, and it's 2-1. So Lowry, who really slumped kind of in the middle portion of the Patriot League schedule, really towards the end of the regular season. Last 22 games of the regular season, hit only 200. Heading the count now 3-1, but swung it really well against Lafayette, 6 for 9 in those 2 games. And so he now has 8 hits total in the Patriot League tournament. And is ahead in the count here, 3 balls and 1 strike with Hodge over at first base and 1 down here in the bottom of the 2nd. Burgraff's pitch is hitting the air out towards center, sends Hurtubise back, but he's there, reaching up to make the catch. Hodge will retreat back to first base, and that's the 2nd out here in the inning. And it'll bring up Jacob Williamson. Williamson continues to play a great defensive third baseman, has already made another nice play in this game, getting the tag on Jaquin there in the 1st inning to end the inning. After the strikeout, the runners taking off, Williamson applying the tag. The pitch is a called strike, and the count's 0-1. Saw him yesterday on an attempted bunt with runners at 1st and 2nd. Navy threw over to 3rd base, but Hodges' throw bounced in there, and Williamson did a great job of picking it and holding the bag. Still appeal to first, and he didn't go, and it's evened up at 1-1. And, of course, that play in Game 2 against Lafayette, in the 11th inning, saving the game with a diving stop over at third. So he's been great defensively, trying to get the bat going as he swings and misses at that one, and it's 1-2. 224 hitter on the year, does have 5 home runs and 24 runs batted in. Did have himself a multi-hit game yesterday, 2 for 4. Now the 1-2 pitch is swung and hit in the air out towards right center field. Hurtaby's going to have to play it on a hop. Going first to third on the play is Hodge. Stopping at first is Williamson. And Navy has runners at the corners here with 2 outs as Williamson has his 3rd hit of the last 2 games. And now it'll be up to Matt Wolf, who's...
Now batting number 1, Matt Wolf.
See his first at-bat of this series. He come in as a defensive replacement in yesterday's game, but didn't get an at-bat. Got 5 at-bats in the Patriot League semis, starting 1 game, and he went 1 for 5 with a couple of runs batted in total in the 2 games against Lafayette. Now the pitch went behind Wolf there. Slipped out of the hand there of Burgraff. A nice play by Ledoux behind the plate to snag that one and prevent the ball from going all the way to the screen. 1-0 delivery, swung and popped him up right side. First baseman Adams in foul territory, able to readjust at the last moment and make the catch, and the side is retired. So Navy puts a couple of runners on here in the 2nd inning, but are not able to score. No runs on a hit, and they leave 2 runners on base.
Welcome back into Army-Navy Game 3. The reason that Navy is here today is because of their starting pitcher, Jared Lyons. He went 8 innings yesterday. He executed his game plan with sharp command. He actually told me yesterday after the win, all year long, he had been thinking about the lead that he gave up to Army in the tournament a year ago, and that fueled him yesterday. Today, he's fueling his teammate and giving a confidence boost to their starter on the mound, Charlie Conley. He's been yelling out after every single pitch, cheering him on, clapping his hands. He's been the most vocal guy in the dugout, Ben.
Thanks, Morgan. Yeah, Conley trying to settle in now after he has walked a couple of batters, and that ball goes off the glove of Stevens and will trickle into right field. And Hurtaby's will reach for the 2nd time in this game. And it will be a base hit there for Hurtaby's, so extends the hitting streak with that one. The ball hit on the ground to the right side of the infield, and Hurtaby's reaches as the leadoff base runner once again. Saw him in the 1st inning, walked on 4 pitches, this time swinging away on the 1st pitch and reaches that way, so extends the hitting streak now for Hurtaby's. That's a 14-game hitting streak for him, and already extended the on-base streak. And has a stolen base. A swinging away 1st pitch is White here, and he hits that one in the air out towards left, and making the catch is Lowry. As Hurtaby's will go back to 1st, and there's 1 away. So 2nd time through the lineup now for Army. 1st time through they drew 3 walks, so struck out a couple of times, and now the 2nd time through, seen him come out a little bit more aggressive here against Conley. Both of the first 2 batters of the 3rd inning have swung at the 1st pitch. And now here's Anthony Jaquin, who has the RBI in this game. 1st pitch is taken for a ball. Hodge popped up as if he thought Hurtaby's had taken off, but he retreats back to 1st base. Hurtaby's did steal the bag in the 1st. So he's got 42 steals on the season. Came into the weekend 2nd in the nation in walks, 3rd in the nation in steals. Now the pitch here is hitting the air down the left field line. Lowry's going to have a long run to get there, and he is able to reach up and make the catch. Jeopardy, the left-handed batter. So Lowry was more over towards left center field. He had a long way to go. And able to make that play. Hurtubise has to go back to first base, and 2 away now for Andre Walden. Nice play out there. Back-to-back flyouts to left. And for the second straight inning, Conley trying to work around that leadoff batter reaching. 5 base runners so far here for Army, with 2 outs in the third. First pitch to Walden is low. Counts 1-0. Walden drew one of the 3 walks from Conley so far in this game. Drew the walk in the first. Now a toss over to first, and Hurtubise back to the bag standing up. Wouldn't be a surprise to see him on the move here. Try to get himself into scoring position with 2 outs in the inning. And is going. Pitch is taken for a strike. Throw down to second. It's a good throw. And the umpire just looking to make sure they held the ball. Biggers did. It's a caught stealing second runner that Hodge has thrown out in this game, and the side is retired. So a nice throw down there this time by Hodge, able to get Hurtubise. Take another look at it here as Biggers covering the bag. Perfect throw right into the slide of Hurtubise, and the side is retired. Back-to-back scoreless innings for Conley here in the second and the third. No runs on a hit, and after the caught stealing, nobody left on. Bottom of the third inning, 1-0. Army leading Navy. Daniel Berggraf back out for his third inning of work. 2 scoreless frames so far for him. 9-hole batter Joe Samorian will lead things off. And a first pitch ball, and the count's 1-0. So 9-1-2 due up here for Navy in the bottom half of the third inning, trailing this game 1-0. And 2 balls in a row to begin things here to the freshman Samorian. 302 hitter, a home run, 12 runs batted in. His 35th start of the season. Now the pitch again outside, and it's 3-0. Berggraf did allow a couple of base runners in the second after retiring the first 4 batters of the game in a row. He walked Hodge, gave up a single to Williamson with 2 outs, but then got Wolf to pop out to end that inning. And now his pitch misses inside, and his second walk of this game, and Navy has the leadoff batter aboard. The tying run is on base. And to the top of the lineup, here's Evan Lowry. Lowry did get a hit yesterday to snap his hitless streak. He went 1 for 4 yesterday. He had been hitless over his last 5 games, 0 for 14 prior to that hit. See if he's up there bunting here with the runner on. Doesn't show on that first pitch, and it's taken for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So 5 straight pitches out of the zone here for Berggraf to begin the third inning. A guy that normally has very good command. He's going to get a mound visit here in the third. So Berggraf, he came into this game only 19 walks total in 76 innings of work, but has already walked 2 batters here and a first pitch ball to Evan Lowry. Faced Navy twice this season. Last time he faced him, gave up quite a few hits, but got a win. 6 2/3 innings, 3 runs, 11 hits on April the 20th against Navy, but did not walk a batter in that ball game. And that was a game in which Army won 11-3, as the home plate umpire has taken his mask off and joined the conference there with the entire infield. And now everybody set and ready to go. So the conference broken up. It's a 1-0 count here to Lowry. The other time that Berggraf faced Navy got a loss when he gave up 5 runs, 3 earned in 7 innings. Pitch, that's a strike. And it's evened up at 1-1. Pitch hit in the air out towards left center field. It's Hurtaby's back towards the track and just shy of the warning track. He's there to make the catch, so Lowry is retired after the leadoff walk to Samorian, one away. And Michael Kuritz will come to the plate. Burgraff came into this start with wins in 5 of his last 6 games. One of those got quite a bit of help against Lafayette, gave up 7 runs in 5 innings, got a win in that ball game. His pitch is called a strike, and the count is 0-1, but the .296 ERA on the season. Ended up second in the Patriot League behind Noah Swung, who led in basically every single pitching category this year. It's the pitch. High, and it's evened up at 1-1, but Burgraff, .296 ERA, second in the conference. Got 3rd in strikeouts behind Song and Dvorak. The innings pitched 3rd as well. We'll toss over to first base, and Samorian will dive back to the bag. Pitch here, a little looper off the end of the bat out towards right center field. It's Hurtaby's who calls off Titus and makes the catch. Titus having to bail out there at the last moment. Back to first is Samorian. So back-to-back fly ball outs recorded here by Burgraff. Hurtaby's has been busy so far in this game. 3 putouts for him in center. And now 2 away, and here's Zack Biggers, who's 0 for 1. Burgraff will step off. Biggers hitless yesterday, 0 for 4. Went 0 for 2 in game 1. It's a pitch here, grounded to Jaquin over at 3rd, and he'll throw it across in time, and Burgraff retires 3 in a row after the leadoff walk to Samorian. So Burgraff has 3 scoreless innings so far in this game. Maybe leaves a runner on base in the 3rd. To the top half of the 4th inning, 1-0, Army leading Navy. And Morgan Goldstein back with you. Morgan Uber on the sidelines. Charlie Conley finishing throwing his warm-up pitches before his 4th inning of work. Back-to-back scoreless innings for him in the 2nd and the 3rd after he gave up the run in the 1st. But it's been Hodge behind the plate who has really helped Conley out. Twice an inning has ended now with Hodge throwing out a runner trying to steal. He got Hurtaby's to end the 3rd inning. He threw out Jaquin at 3rd to end the 1st inning. And so Hodge, good behind the plate for Conley, who has walked 3 so far in 3 innings, and now will deal with 4, 5, 6. And it's Andre Walden, who was up at the plate when Hurtaby's was caught stealing to end the 3rd. Takes a first pitch ball, and the count's 1-0. Pitch, another ball, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Conley did face the minimum there after the leadoff single by Hurtaby's in the 3rd inning, but enters this frame 49 pitches through the first 3 innings, and he has still thrown more balls than strikes. 23 strikes, 26 balls. His 2-0 deliveries, grounder back to the mound. Conley able to snag it, will run it halfway to first and then underhand it. And Charlie Conley has retired the leadoff batter at an inning for the first time in this game. Walked the leadoff batter in the 1st and 2nd innings and then gave up a single to Hurtaby's in the 3rd. So sets down Walden. And now here's Jeremiah Adams, the first baseman. it in, and the count is 1-0. So Army trying to win the Patriot League here at Navy for the second consecutive year. This was the 5th consecutive season that Navy won the Patriot League regular season title. Of the prior 4, they've only ended up winning the tournament once. So the pitch is foul, and it's 1-1. Navy winning the Patriot League tournament in 2016. It's the only time during this stretch that they have gone to the NCAA tournament. It's Army last year, winning both games here in Annapolis, 8-5, 5-3 in the 2 games. And went to the NCAA tournament and actually won a game there against NC State in Raleigh for losing back-to-back games to Auburn and NC State. But nice showing from them in the tournament last year and trying to get back there for the 2nd consecutive year. Army has won the Patriot League back-to-back years twice before. Did it in 2012, 2013, and also 04, 05. Now the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out, so now 3 strikeouts, 3 walks for Conley, and 2 up and 2 down here in the 4th. And Conley, an opportunity for his first 1-2-3 inning of this game. So Army had their opportunities over the first 2 innings off of Conley to get more than just the 1 run, but the only player that was able to come through with the hit with the runner on base was Jaquin in the first, the RBI single. And despite the 3 walks, he has still surrendered just the 1 run as he throws the first pitch ball to McKenna. The count's 1-0. McKenna walked his first time up, led off the second with a walk, and then ended up getting stranded at third to end that inning. Now Conley's pitch is outside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Navy last won the Patriot League tournament 2016. Also did it in 2011, and back in the earlier days of the Patriot League, they won it back-to-back years in 94-95 and 98-99. Pitch is a strike, and it's 2-1. There's the 2-1 pitch, a grounder foul, and it's evened up at 2-2. But Navy, their strong showing in the postseason awards. Navy Player of the Year Christian Hodge, Pitcher of the Year Noah Song, Coach of the Year Paul Kostakopoulos. Army did get the Defensive Player of the Year with Hurtubise taking that in the center field. The pitch here called, 3rd strike looking, and Charlie Conley is retired 5 in a row. He strikes out back-to-back batters here to end the 4th, and it's his first 1-2-3 inning of this ball game. Bottom half of the 4th inning, it's 1-0. Army leading Navy. Daniel Burgraff finishing throwing his warm-up pitches here before the bottom half of the 4th inning. He's worked 3 scoreless frames so far. A nice afternoon for baseball here in Annapolis. Winner-take-all Game 3 here. Patriot League Championship Series between Army and Navy. As Burgraff will go to work against 4-5-6 here in the 4th. And the first pitch, strike, and the count's 0-1. Stevens, Hodge, and Lowry here. It's Army and Navy meeting for the 8th time this season. Stevens 0 for 1, struck out his first time up. Pitch here, check swing foul, and the count is 0-2. That's the only strikeout of the ball game so far for Burgraff. Now the 0-2 delivery. Jam shot, foul back, and it remains 0-2. Army making the regular season 3 games to 2 against Navy. And the two teams have split the first 2 games of this one. So the pitch up high, it counts 1-2. And they're here heading to the NCAA tournament as Army trying to do so for the 2nd straight year. As Stevens swings and misses at a ball that was way outside, but it's going to go to the backstop, and he's going to reach on a strikeout. It's going to be a strikeout and a wild pitch as Stevens reaches base here. That pitch was a good 1.5 feet outside that Stevens swung through. So far outside, it got past Ledoux, went to the screen, and he's aboard to lead things off here in the 4th inning. So Navy has the leadoff batter on for the 2nd straight inning. Here's Hodge, who drew a walk his first time up. Burgraff out of the stretch now. First pitch swinging by Hodge, and he swings over a breaking ball, and the count is 0-1. There's Burgraff with the set, and now the 0-1 pitch. Another foul ball at the plate, and it's 0-2. And for more on Hodge, we go down to the sidelines with Morgan.
Ben, one of the things that Christian Hodge had said yesterday was we have to match Army's intensity. He remembers being in this position as a freshman when they won the Patriot League championship and were able to advance to the NCAA tournament. So, you know, at the plate, he's looking to be aggressive, but ironically, as a catcher, Coach Kostakopoulos actually told me that he's really the calming presence out there. They have 10 freshmen and sophomore pitchers on their pitching staff, so they really look to him to be that senior veteran leader when it comes to the defense.
Thanks, Morgan. Yeah, Hodge has been the calming influence because he's thrown a couple of guys out on the base paths as well in this game as he fouls one off to the left side, and has done a great job of helping Conley out, especially in that first inning when he threw out Jaquin to end the inning, and then threw out Hurtubise in the 3rd to end that inning. So has really helped Conley out on the mound, and he's already reached base once in this game. Now the 0-2 is a soft grounder to 3rd. Jaquin second, and he throws it away. It ends up in right field. Stevens will head to 3rd. It'll be a fielder's choice and an error. And Stevens ends up at 3rd base. Hodge is aboard, and so Navy, without recording a hit, has 1st and 3rd with nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Now batting number 1, Liam Lowry.
And now Navy has that tying run 90 feet away with nobody out, and Liam Lowry has knocked in runs in each of these games so far. Coming to the plate is Navy trying to even things up. Play back for the double play up the middle. 3rd baseman Jaquin in on the grass. 1st baseman holds the runner on. Pitch outside, and the count is 1-0. And a tough break for Burgraff so far in this inning. Got a strikeout of Stevens to start the inning, but it ended up being a wild pitch that he reached on, and then he got Hodge to hit the grounder that Army might have had a chance to turn 2 on. Instead, everybody's safe, and now it's a 1-1 count to Lowry. So Lowry's 0 for 1, flat out to center in the 2nd. Saw the corner outfielders' arms in game 2. Walden and Titus each threw a runner out, and this one is lifted in the air down the line in left field. Walden giving chase, and it's going to be foul. It up actually carrying, might have been home run distance had he been able to keep it fair. 318 down the line, but it was just foul. And now it's 1-2 here to Lowry. It's Stevens over at 3rd, but it is a fly ball out to left or right. Certainly have to keep an eye on the arms of Walden and Titus there. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Got a piece of it, fouled it off. Lowry, and then Jacob Williamson waits on deck here for Navy. Stevens at 3rd and Hodge at 1st, nobody out. here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Burgraff's 1-2 pitch, again fouled off. Lowry an RBI yesterday, he had a sac fly in game 1. So 5 RBIs total for him now in the Patriot League tournament. Looking for another to tie up this game. 1-2 pitch, pulls it off again. Again, the set, and the pitch here's a liner out towards center. Hurtaby's there, he makes the catch. Tagging from third is Stevens, throw cut off. And another RBI here for Liam Lowry. The sac fly, and Navy has tied up this game. It's 1-1 in the 4th. So Lowry now 3 RBIs in the 3 games. 6 total here in the Patriot League tournament. And so the wild pitch and the error come back to hurt Army here in the 4th as Navy has gotten even. Now here's Williamson looking at a first pitch strike, and the count's 0-1. Williamson hit in the 2nd. That's the lone hit so far in this ball game by Navy. Williamson's 2-out single in the 2nd inning. The pitch grounded foul, and he's behind in the count 0-2. Todd remains over at first base, reaching on that fielder's choice. Now the 0-2, breaking ball low. It's 1-2. So Navy gets the run in here in the 4th without recording a hit off of Burgraff. And now here's the 1-2 delivery. Grounds that one foul. It remains 1-2. So a long at bat from Lowry, fouling off 3 or 4 pitches in a row before getting the fly ball to center. And now Williamson has fouled off a couple in a row. Starting to make Burgraff work a bit more. Here's his 1-2 pitch. Again, hitting the air out towards center field. Since Hurtaby's going back, he'll have room, though, in that spacious center field, and makes the catch. Another fly ball out towards center. 5th play that Hurtaby's has had to make out there so far in this game. And now 2 away, and Matt Wolf will come to the plate.
Matt Wolf.
So Wolf getting his first start in this series. An opportunity in the 2nd inning, came up with runners at the corners and 2 outs, but popped out to first. Just the freshman looks at a first pitch ball, and the count's 1-0. Wolf, 19 starts this year. Pitch down and in, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. It's been either Wolf, Duffy, or Policelli who have gotten that final spot in the lineup here for Navy. Policelli, best batting average of the 3. The pitch here is hitting the air out towards left field. Walden going back, still back at the track, and he will have room to make the catch for the final out here in the 4th inning. So Wolf flies out to left, but Navy evens up the score here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. They score a run without recording a hit here in the inning. There was an error and 1 man left on base. Go to the 5th, 1-1. Army and Navy all tied up as Navy gets the sac fly in the bottom half of the 4th inning off the bat of Liam Lowry to score Zach Stevens, and so they equaled the run of Army, and Charlie Conley back out for his 5th inning of work. He's worked 3 straight scoreless frames since allowing that run in the 1st, and has retired 5 in a row. Struck out the last 2 batters of the 4th, and now we'll deal with 7, 8, 9 here in the 5th. Simos, Ledoux, and Titus. And all of a sudden, you look up here in the 4th inning, and Daniel Burgraff has actually thrown more pitches through 4 innings than Conley. Conley at 61 pitches through 4 innings of 1 run, 2 hit ball. Struck out 4, walked 3. Simos stands in. First pitch is fouled off right side and out of play. And the count is 0-1. Simos had the sac bunt in the 2nd inning. Moved McKenna over to 2nd. He would end up getting stranded at 3rd. Now the 0-1 fouled off. It's 0-2. The sophomore Simos, he did 53 games a season ago, 77 at bats though, so a lot of times a defensive replacement, pinch hitter. Now the 0-2 is hitting the air off the end of the bat out towards center. Long run over for Samorian, who was playing him way over towards right center field, but is able to track it down. And Simos is retired to begin things here in the 5th. That's now 6 in a row that Conley has retired. And here's Ledoux, the catcher. Ledoux, one of those 3 junior college transfers in the starting lineup for Army. Conley's first pitch to him, swing and a miss at a fastball, and the count's 0-1. Ledoux 0 for 1, grounded out to 1st his first time up. Scored a run in yesterday's game, went 0 for 2 with a walk. It's the 0-1 pitch to him, another strike called, and really Conley has settled into this game. It was rocky in the first couple of innings. He walked 3 of the first 6 batters that he faced, but since then has not walked anybody. He's got 4 strikeouts total now in the game. And an 0-2 delivery to Ledoux. Just checks his swing at a fastball outside, and it's 1-2. Saw Bobby Applegate have to make a mound visit in the 1st inning. Conley. And even after that, still walked a couple of batters, was in trouble in the 2nd. It's a pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. Now 5 Ks for Conley, who has retired 7 in a row. And here's Drake Titus.
Now number 4, Drake Titus.
Obviously the play by Hodge is Hodge behind the plate. 2 of them throwing out Jaquine in the 1st and Hurtaby's in the 3rd, trying to swipe bags. It's really helped Conley as well. And now helping himself with strikeouts of 3 of the last 4 batters. Here's Titus, first pitch to him. Just misses for a ball, and the count's 1-0. Titus 0 for 1, grounded out to short 10 the 2nd inning. Pitch, swing and a miss, out in front of an off-speed delivery, got him off balance there, and it's evened up at 1-1. That wind blowing out towards left center field. Clear blue skies, temperatures in the low 80s, and a 1-1 game here in the top of the 5th. The pitch is a little low. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Both teams last weekend had to play through cold, rainy conditions. This week, weather has been very good for the Patriot League Championship Series here in Annapolis. Here's the 2-1 delivery. That's a strike, and now it's 2-2, and Conley a strike away from setting the side down in order for the second consecutive inning. He has struck out 3 of the last 4 batters. 5 strikeouts total for the sophomore Conley. And now a 2-ball, 2-strike count here to Titus. Here's the pitch. Fouled it off. Army getting that run in the top of the first inning. Hurtubise walked on 4 pitches, stole second, scored on an RBI single off of Conley by Anthony Jeopardy, and Navy just evening it up there in the bottom of the 4th inning, scoring a run without recording a hit. William Lowry ends up getting the sac fly that scores Stevens. That's where we stand now here in the top of the 5th. 2-2 pitch. It is down low, and it runs full, 3-2. Conley payoff pitch, swung and popped him up on the infield. Koritz shading his eyes from the sun, and the shortstop will put it away. And Charlie Conley has himself back-to-back 1-2-3 innings here in the 4th and the 5th. Conley has settled in. He's retired 8 in a row. No runs, hits errors, nobody left on base. Halfway through this one. Packed crowd here in Annapolis for Game 3 of the Patriot League Championship Series here in Annapolis, Maryland for the decisive Game 3. Army and Navy 1-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Daniel Burgraff back out for his 5th inning of work. Give his first run of the game in the 4th, and the first pitch of this inning is grounded to second, and Samorian is retired on 1 pitch. And that'll turn it back over to the top of the lineup, and Evan Lowry will come to the plate. So 3rd trip through now for Navy, who scored the unearned run off of Burgraff there in the 4th inning. They did not record a hit in the 4th. It was a strikeout and a wild pitch, then a fielder's choice error. As the first pitch to Lowry is taken for a strike, and the count's 0-1. Ball hit on the ground to 3rd that Jeopardy threw into right field that allowed Stevens to end up at 3rd. Pitch fouled off, and it's 0-2, and then Lowry got him home with a sacrifice fly. So an unearned run against Burgraff, who has only allowed 1 hit so far in this game. That was a single by Williamson in the 2nd. He's also walked a couple batters, and Lowry fouls off another pitch. So Evan Lowry, the younger brother of Liam Lowry. So Liam has the RBI in this game. Evan is 0 for 2, a ground out and a fly out. Now the 0-2 pitch to him is a little low, and it's 1-2. Pitch, swinging a liner out towards left. That'll be in there for a base hit. I don't think Walden saw it off the bat. He just throws. Ball's going to end up all the way at the wall. Lowry chugging for 3rd. He'll be in there with a feet-first slide. And it's a 1-out triple for Evan Lowry into the gap in left center field. And no idea what happened to Walden out there in left field. Walden did not react on that ball until it hit and rolled through that gap there, and then finally chased it down, and it was actually Hurtubise, the center fielder, who picked up that ball. But that was a very late reaction, and Lowry has his 2nd hit of this series, and Navy has the go-ahead run at 3rd with 1 out. And here's Koritz, and the infield's going to come in all the way around now for Army. First pitch, strike called, and the count's 0-1. Just the 2nd hit that Burgraff has allowed in this game. It's a triple by Lowry, and now Navy 90 feet away from taking their first lead of this game. 0-1, bending out of the way of it is Koritz. It's evened up at 1-1. Pitch up high, and now it's 2 balls and 1 strike. So an unearned run for Navy in the 4th inning. Lowry certainly would have had a base hit on his ball. Maybe a double, but a late reaction helps him get 3. He stands at third base here with 1 out, and Koritz ahead in the count 2-1. Pitch, chopper to third. Jaquin's going to look the runner back, throw across, and it's in time. And so Burgraff able to keep that runner at third, get the 2nd out here in the 5th inning. Now it'll be up to Zack Biggers.
Now batting number 2, Zack Biggers.
To try to come through with the 2-out hit. Biggers 2 for 15 in the Patriot League tournament. Fouls the first pitch off, and the count's 0-1. Went 0 for 4 yesterday. 0 for 2 in game 1, and he's 0 for 2 so far in this one as he tries to check and did not go. Had a pitch down low, and it's evened up at 1-1. Biggers was the preseason Patriot League Player of the Year and was first team All Patriot League in the postseason awards. So the pitch here, grounder right side, that's going to get through the hole for a base hit. Coming home and scoring is Lowry, and Biggers comes through with the 2-out RBI single, and Navy is taking a 2-1 lead here in the 5th.
Now batting number 17, Zack Stevens.
Second baseman Simos was pulled close to the bag there. And Biggers, big hole on that right side, just slaps it right through there and comes through with the 2-out hit. And so Navy has their first lead of this game. It's the freshman Stevens, who has struck out twice but also scored a run in this game. And a toss to first. Stevens struck out in the 2nd, and then he started that 4th inning, and he struck out on a pitch way outside, but reached on a wild pitch. Ended up at 3rd on an error, scored on a sac fly. Swings and misses at that one. It's 0-1. So Navy running the 4th run here in the 5th inning. And now lead it 2-1. Their pitcher Charlie Conley has retired 8 in a row. Swing and a miss. Runner taking off for a second. He's going to get in there without a throw. So a rare stolen base for Navy. Biggers does lead the team in stolen bases. That's his 7th of the year. And 2 strikes on Stevens. Another runner in scoring position now, and a chance for back-to-back 2-out runs here for Navy. Here's the pitch. Fouled it off. Stevens, 2nd team All-Patriot League in his freshman season. The pitch to him. Got a piece of that one and fouled it back again. Guy who, for a good portion of the Patriot League schedule, actually led the conference in hitting. Saw it dip a little bit down the stretch and still top 10 in the conference in hitting. And now look back to second base. Biggers has a pretty large lead down there at second with 2 outs, with middle infielders playing back. Now the 0-2 pitch, tried to check, they appeal down to first. He did hold up on a ball that was low, and it's 1-2. Stevens, the freshman from Lexington, Massachusetts. With Biggers, who had the go-ahead RBI single at second base. Now here's the 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, caught, 3rd strike looking. This is the third strikeout of the ball game here for Burgraff. All of them have come against Stevens, and the side is retired. But not before Navy takes the lead here in the 5th inning. They score a run on 2 hits, and they leave a runner on base. Go to the 6th, and Navy now has their first lead of this game, 2-1, as Charlie Conley's retired 8 in a row, and the last batter to reach base against him is the leadoff hitter for Army, Jacob Hurtubise, who's been on base a couple of times in this game. Conley has not yet retired him, and for more here on Hurtubise, turn it over to Morgan Uber on the sidelines.
Ben, Hurtubise has a .533 on base percentage. That puts him at number 3 in the country. He's also 3rd in the country for stolen bases, which we've already seen one of those here today. Talking with Coach Foster, we talked about his speed, and I asked him, how much speed training do you do with him? And he says, we start the year off with that, but with Hurtubise, it's all God-given. While the military is a little more conducive to strength training and endurance and more of the mental side, really, it's just God-given talent for Hurtubise. When he gets on base, he can do some damage, and that puts some mental pressure on the defense, which we've really seen throughout this entire series this weekend.
Yeah, and you can see the pressure that he puts on Navy. Here is a liner that'll go back through the middle, and Hurtubise has his 2nd hit of this ball game. He has been on base all 3 times that he has come to the plate so far in this game, and we've seen every time he's gotten on base, Conley has had to keep a close eye on him over there at first base as well. So Hurtubise has stolen a base in this game. He scored the lone run for Army so far in this game, and then was actually caught stealing in the 3rd, but Hurtubise has 2 of the 3 hits so far for Army. The other one from Anthony Jaquin, but now he's on base representing that tying run as Josh White, shortstop 0 for 2 in this game, will stand in. Snaps the string of 8 in a row that Conley had retired, going back to Hurtubise's last at-bat in the 3rd. The set, first pitch inside, and the count is 1-0. So Hurtubise, the incredible numbers against Navy continue. He had a multi-hit game there yesterday, going 2 for 4. He had a multi-hit game in game 1, going 2 for 5. And now a multi-hit game here this afternoon, 2 for 2. Pitch up high, and now it's 2 balls and no strikes. And a guy in Hurtubise who went 7 for 13 against Navy in 5 games this year with 7 walks. So on base 14 of his 20 plate appearances against Navy in that 5-game regular season matchup, and now the 2-0. It's a ball, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. So Conley, who had pitched so well in the 3rd, 4th, 5th innings, retiring 8 in a row. He's got 5 strikeouts total, is now allowed a leadoff single to Hurtubise, and is behind White, 3 balls and no strikes. The pitch gets that one over as Hodge popped up thinking about a snap throw over to first base. Now the 3-1 delivery fouls it off, and the count's full, 3-2. So you got White up at the plate, the best speed in the league, and Hurtubise over at first base. A full count. We already saw Navy throw a runner out once in this game when Army head coach Jim Foster started the runners on a 3-2 count. That was throwing Jaquin out at 3rd. So we'll see if they start Hurtubise here on a 3-2 pitch with nobody out here in the 6th inning. Conley sets, runner does go, and it's fouled off. So they did start Hurtubise there. White does have a strikeout in this game. Conley has struck out 5 so far. The infield playing back for the double play. Stevens holds the runner on, who goes again, and the ball hits him. And so now the first 2 batters here of the 6th inning are aboard here against Conley. I have to imagine with 2 on and nobody out that, let's take another look at the hit by pitch, just right on the back there. So White turns out of the way of it, and Bobby Applegate's going to go out to the mound, and Conley's at 84 pitches after allowing the first 2 batters here of the 6th inning to reach. And we'll see if Conley's going to be to continue here as we'll look at that conference between Applegate and Charlie Conley. Conley, he nods at Applegate, and at least initially hasn't taken the ball from him here. It's the dangerous Jeopardy who's coming to the plate. Jeopardy got the hit with the runner in scoring position in the first to knock in the first run of this game, and now we'll have another opportunity with the runner in scoring position. And it looks like Conley is going to get the opportunity to face him here with 2 on and nobody out in the 6th inning. Navy, bottom of the 5th inning, just took their first lead of this game on a 2-out RBI single by Zack Biggers. And now it's Army trying to answer right back. They've got Hurtubise at second, Josh White over at first, and nobody out for the Patriot League leader in runs batted in. Pitch is a called strike, and the count's 0-1. Jeopardy, 6 runs batted in so far in the series. 5 Friday night, 1 today. He went 0 for 4 yesterday. So we'll see what he does here against Conley. Conley's at 85 pitches now in this game. And his pitch here, swing and a miss. Chased one riding down and in. Sophomore over aggressive there on the second pitch, chasing one out of the zone. Guy who's been Patriot League all first team each of his first 2 seasons at Army. He sets, now the 0-2 pitch, swung on and hit in the air out towards left, but right there is Lowry who makes the catch. Hurtubise bluffs tagging from second, will stay put, and Jeopardy is retired. Great job by Conley. Jeopardy, not an easy guy to put down when a runner is in scoring position. 67 RBIs on the season for him, but is able to get Jeopardy for the first out here in the 6th inning. And now here's Andre Walden, who is 0 for 1 in this game. So now the double play would get Navy out of the 6th inning. Hurtubise remains at second, White at first, and Andre Walden to the plate. First pitch down in the dirt, blocked by Hodge. Runners are going to take off though, and they're going to get there without a throw as that ball trickled just far enough away from Hodge. It'll go as a wild pitch. And so now 2 in scoring position here for Army. Tying run at third, go ahead run at second, and still only 1 out in the inning. Looks like Navy is going to play the middle infield back, so they'll concede that tying run on a grounder up the middle. Corner infielders, Stevens at first, Williamson at third, are right in line with the bags. And now the pitch is a strike, and it's evened up at 1-1. Again, Conley does have those 5 strikeouts so far in this game, and came into this game with better than a strikeout per inning pitch. 65 strikeouts in 55 1/3 innings of work this season. So certainly a guy that can get the K. Here's the 1-1, tried to check. They appeal to first, he did not go. And it's 2-1. Walden walked his first time up in the first inning. And that was a stretch where Conley walked 3 of the first 6 batters that he faced. But since then, he has not walked anybody, although he did hit a batter in this inning. So Walden the walk, and then he grounded out back to the pitcher in the 4th. 2-1. Gets that over for a strike, and now it's 2-2. Conley up over 90 pitches in this game. He sets 2-2 pitch, fouled it off, and it remains 2-2. Conley's only gone over 100 pitches once this season. That was a couple of weeks ago against Lafayette in his final Patriot League start of the regular season, threw 105 pitches in that game. Trying to get through 6 innings. Couple of runners on base here and only 1 out. 2-2 pitch, swung on and lined out towards right field. Wolf is there, he makes the catch. Hurtaby's tag from third, throw home. It's a good one, but Hurtaby's will slide in just ahead of the tag, and this game is all tied up again. It's 2-2 here in the 6th. It's a nice throw there by Wolf in right on line, and probably would have had a chance to get a number of guys, but not Hurtaby's, who's scored both of the Army runs here in this ball game. And now 2 away. White stayed put at second base, so he's there. Jeremiah Adams. It is 3rd at bat against Conley. Pitch up high. Counts 1-0. Adams, couple of strikeouts, one in the 1st, one in the 4th. So go-ahead run, stands in scoring position. Down at second, but now 2 outs here in the inning. Pitch, tried to check, he offered at a pitch low, and it's evened up at 1-1. Have to imagine if Conley's able to get this final out of the 6th inning, Navy would be pretty happy with 6 innings of 2-run ball out of Conley, especially the way things started in the 1st, with 3 of the first 4 batters reaching against him, 2 walks and a hit. Round to strikeout, and a nice job of settling down after that. Counts 2 balls and 1 strike now to Adams. Adams 0 for 5 over the last couple of games. Did have an RBI in game 1. He had the lone non-Jaquin RBI in game 1. Pitch inside, and now it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Next pitch will be number 98 of the game for Conley. Sets 3-1 is ball 4, his 4th walk of the afternoon. Adams is aboard, and let's see if that is going to be all for Conley here.
Now batting number 1, John McKenna.
John McKenna will stand in. And so far, no movement out of the Navy dugout. The big first baseman digs in, and they're going to let Conley try to get this final out here of the 6th inning. And it's 0 for 1, a walk and a strikeout with 2 on base, and the first pitch is low. It counts 1-0. Next pitch will be number 100 for Conley, so it'll be the 2nd time this year he gets the triple digits. Getting through 105 against Lafayette on April 28th. I'd have to imagine one way or another this is going to be the last batter of the ball game for Conley. Pitch inside, and now it's 2 balls and no strikes. Pitch down and away. Now 3 straight out of the zone. So Conley didn't walk anybody since the 2nd inning. Now in jeopardy of walking back-to-back batters with 2 outs here in the 6th. He's also hit a batter here in this inning and surrendered the game-tying run. So a 2-2 game. Conley's 3-0 pitch is over for a strike. Now it's 3-1. 4 walks in the game for Conley, a hit batter. He struck out 5. Allowed 2 runs on only 3 hits. 2 of the hits coming off the bat of Hurtubise. Big right-handed bat stands back in. 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Chased the fastball outside, and now the count's full here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners will be off here on the pitch. White from second, Adams from first. Conley's 3-2 pitch, fouled it off. Runners will head back to their bags. White to second, Adams to first. We'll reset and do it again here. It's Conley trying to get through 6 innings of 2-run ball. And the winner take all game 3 of the Patriot League tournament. Right-hander sets, runners go, 3-2 in the dirt, ball 4. He walked him, and the bases are loaded. And you'd have to imagine that is going to be it for Conley here this afternoon, who has now walked 5 batters. He struck out 5. Here comes Bobby Applegate, and it is the end of the line for Charlie Conley. But a really nice job for Conley, especially in the 2nd through 5th innings, of settling down after the rocky start to this ball game. As Conley will end up going 5 2/3 innings. And now makes the signal. It was the 2nd mound visit of the inning anyway. And just a little bit of a conversation with Conley, and he'll get a nice ovation as he exits this ballgame after 5 2/3 innings of 2-run ball, and he'll look to the bullpen to try to keep it at 2 runs. We have a pitching change here on the top of the 6th inning. Tie ballgame 2-2, but Army has the bases loaded.
There's been some movement in the Navy bullpen since the start of the 6th inning, and it is Jackson Zack who's coming in. He yesterday was in a very high pressure situation in the 9th, inheriting 2 base runners, no outs. And after the game yesterday, he said that he was just focused on a 1-game winning streak, and he had that next man up mentality. So Ben, you have to believe that this is the same approach he's taking here today in a bases loaded situation, but now he has 2 outs to work with.
Yeah, Zack, yesterday when he came in with that 2-on, nobody out situation, needed only 7 pitches to retire all 3 batters that he faced in the 9th inning. So he did a tremendous job. He also got out of a jam in the Patriot League semis when he came into Jared Lyons' game in the bottom of the 8th inning. Came on with 2 on and 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning and got the lone batter that he faced in that game. So now comes on bases loaded here, 2 outs. Tim Simos will come to the plate here, trying to put Army back in front. First pitch swinging, and he chops it right to short. Kuritz will go to second, and on 1 pitch, Jackson Zack gets out of the jam here in the 6th inning. So Zack comes in, does his job, and we are in the middle of the 6th inning. Go to the bottom half of the 6th inning, so Army ties it up there in the top half of the 6th inning, getting the sac fly from Andre Walden that scored Hurtubise, and Hurtubise has scored both of the runs for Army in this game. But then Jackson Zack comes on, bases loaded, 2 outs, and he gets out of Conley's jam, getting the ground ball on one pitch, and Simos hits into the fielder's choice to end that inning. So Navy into the bullpen now in a 2-2 game. And on the other side, Army is going to stick with Burgraff here for the 6th inning after he gave up what was then the go-ahead run in the 5th. Back out here for the 6th, and Christian Hodge will lead things off here for Navy. Burgraff had 85 pitches, 5 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned. And like a ball got loose from the outfield there. And the left fielder, Walden, had to go and retrieve it. Delay the start here at the bottom of the 6th. So Hodge, Lowry, and Williamson here for Navy. And the first pitch, and I think it hit the bat there of Hodge. Went behind him, but Hodge ducking away, hits his bat. And you take another look at it here, and one of the stranger foul balls you will see. A ball behind Hodge. And it's 0-1. Pitch, swing and a miss, and now Hodge is behind in the count here, 0-2. So some tough luck there for Hodge, who's 0 for 1 in this game. He walked in the 2nd and then reached on a fielder's choice. It's the pitch here, hit in the air, out towards right center field. Titus is there and puts it away. And there's one away here in the inning. Cam Opp is throwing out in the Army bullpen, their ace reliever. Struck out 46 and 39 in the 3rd innings. Got 5 saves this year. And here's Liam Lowry, who's got one of the 2 ribbies in this game. And that ball hits off of Burgraff's leg, kicks to Jakeen, and the throw to first is in time. And pretty fortuitous bounce there, and hopefully Burgraff is okay. Let's take another look. Looked like it hit him right on the hamstring there. A sharp liner, turns away, and actually just hit him right on the backside and bounced perfectly over to Jakeen. And it'll go 1-5-3 on that putout as they let Burgraff throw couple of warm-up pitches, and after one he waves off the Army dugout, and the senior says he is just fine, waving off his head coach there. And so he's retired both batters that he's faced here in the 6th inning. And here's Jacob Williamson. Each team only 3 hits total in this ball game. Williamson has one of the 3 hits for Navy. A single in the 2nd, a big cut and a miss there. And it counts 0-1. Ball is carrying well, though. We've seen a couple of fly balls that didn't look like they were struck all that well. It's another swing and a miss, and it counts 0-2. Didn't look like they were struck all that well. Carry out towards the warning track in this game. The wind blowing out. Humid conditions for hitting. And now the 0-2 pitch down and away, and it's 1-2. Burgraff has only 3 strikeouts in this ball game, and all of them have came against Navy's cleanup batter, Zach Stevens. Now the 1-2, swing and a miss, ball in the dirt, and they'll have to throw it on to first to finish off the strikeout where they do, and that's the 4th strikeout of the ball game for Burgraff, and it's the first time that he has set the side down in order since his 8-pitch first inning. Go to the 7th, still 2-2. Army and Navy all tied up. Ben Gordon Goldstein back with you. Morgan Uber on the sidelines here this afternoon in a 2-2 Game 3 winner-take-all here on the Patriot League Championship Series. See Jackson Zack there, back out for his first full inning of relief work. Came in bases loaded, 2 outs in the 6th, and got a ground out on 1 pitch. And so now is out here for the 7th, and will face 8-9-1. Blake Ledoux, the catcher, will be the first one to face Zack here in the 7th inning. Zack got all 3 outs. Got the save there in the 9th inning last. game, and now ball that's hitting the hole. Carits a high throw over to first as Williamson tried to cut that ball off, and it ended up getting over to Carits, who, even with an accurate throw, not sure would have had Ledoux. Infield single.
Now batting for Trey, Titus.
And the leadoff batter is aboard here in the 7th inning, so it's that go-ahead run that is aboard here. And Drake Titus will come to the plate. Final line on Charlie Conley, 5 2/3 innings, 2 runs, 3 hits. He struck out 5, he walked 5, and will not factor into the decision in this game after Zack was able to strand the bases loaded. Titus showing bunt, and bunts through the first pitch. Counts 0-1. Actually, they're going to say he pulled back on it, and it did miss. So it's 1-0 here to Titus. Now the pitch, not bunting there, and he fouls it off. It's evened up at 1-1. Titus with Hurtubise waiting on deck. Hurtubise has not been retired in this game. 2 for 2 with a walk. Pair of hits. And it's Hurtubise who has scored both of the runs for Army as well. Toss to first. 1-1 shows bunt that time. Bunts it back over to Zack. Nobody was covering second as Zack wanted to make the play over there. He does get the out over at first base, but with Ledoux running, might have had a chance to get the lead runner. And instead it'll go as a sac bunt. Navy lucky to get the 1 out, and Foster is going to go chat with the first base umpire here about that call over at first base. And a brief chat, and he'll trot back to his position over at third, coaching third there. And so Army does have that go-ahead run in scoring position as we take another look here. Zack, again, the look over to second, almost threw it there with nobody covering, and then tossed it over to first, and like he got him by a half step. And so Titus is retired, so now here's Hurtubise, who's been the table setter, but it's, oh, they're not even going to get him a chance to swing the bat. An intentional walk here to Hurtubise, so he's on base for the 4th time in this game. And, well, Zack, a guy who gets a ton of ground balls, so we'll set up the double play. Now first and second with 1 out after the intentional walk, and they're going to go after Josh White. I was going to say Hurtubise, for the most part, has been the table setter, but was going to have an opportunity to put that go-ahead run home, but he will not get that chance. Instead, they'll go after White here in the righty-righty matchup. And the first pitch to White gets it over for a strike. And counts 0-1. So they play for 2. Up the middle with Carits and Biggers. Williamson is a step behind the bag over at third. And now a pinch runner is going to come on here. It's going to be Carter Macias. So Blake Ledoux, starting catcher, is going to be out of the ball game. They're going to put a little bit more speed over at second base here with 1 out in the inning, and that's the go-ahead run there in the top of the 7th inning. So Macias in as the pinch runner. And now a pickoff attempt there. And a little warm-up for Macias, diving back to the bag. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's a ball inside, and it's evened up at 1-1. So White's 0 for 2. He's hit by a pitch his last time up. Struck out in the first, flat out the left in the third. Is making his second straight start in place of Trey Martin at short. Had a 2-hit game yesterday and his first action since May the 8th. So he did not play at all in the Holy Cross semifinal series. Now a big spot for him here. Pitch, swinging a liner out towards left. That'll be in there for a base hit. Macias around third. Here's the throw home. It is not in time. It's an RBI single for Josh White, and Army has retaken the lead 3-2 here in the 7th. So White comes through, and it's the pinch runner who's able to score from second there. Take another look at it, a liner that Macias froze for a moment on, but it was a base hit all the way, and then the throw from Lowry was a little short, and Hodge had to come up to field it on a hop. No real chance to get him, and now Bobby Applegate's going to go out and have a word here with Zack. With still 2 aboard here in the 7th inning, and that is going to be it for Zack. So Zack gets out of the jam in the 6th inning, but then gets into his own jam here in the 7th. He surrenders the go-ahead run, and we have a pitching change here in the top of the 7th inning. Army has retaken the lead 3-2. So the new pitcher into the ball game here for Navy is Trent Topping, who comes in with Army now leading 3-2, and 1 out and runners at first and second here on the top of the 7th inning as Topping enters his 23rd game of the season. He's 3-3 with a 2.50 earned run average, 36 innings of work, 20 strikeouts, 15 walks, and now just trying to keep this a 1-run game as Topping did pitch yesterday in the 9th inning. He faced 1 batter, walked him, and then was taken out in favor of Zack, and so now today it's Topping who replaces Zack, with Hurtubise over at second base, White at first, and here's Jeopardy, who's already got an RBI in this game, up at the plate. Pickoff attempt there at second. Hurtubise will dive back safely. First pitch here to Jeopardy, catches the outside corner for a strike, and the count is 0-1. It's the 4th time this year that Topping has faced Army. Gave up runs the first 2 times that he faced them at Army and here in Annapolis. Then yesterday just facing the 1 batter walking him, and that batter did not end up scoring. Pitch, a little high, and it's evened up at 1-1. So Jeopardy 1 for 3, the RBI single in the first that got Army off to the quick start. 6 runs batted in the 3-game series. Flied out to left his last 2 times up. And the pitch jammed him, and it's hit foul, and it's 1-2. Topping coming in here for Zack. Zack got out of the bases loaded jam in the 6th inning, getting the grounder, but here in the 7th, a couple of hits, an intentional walk, and a sac bunt off of Zack. And so he is finished. And now a 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. Big strikeout of Jeopardy as Topping gets the 2nd out here in the 7th. And here's Walden, who tied the ball game up in the 6th inning with a sac fly. Walden officially so for 1, a ground out in the 4th. Aside from that, he walked and hit the sac fly there in the 6th. So now we'll bat Hurtubise, great speed at second base. Representing an insurance run for Army, who's already taken the lead on the Josh White RBI single that scored the pinch runner Macias. And the pitch down and away, and the count's 1-0. So Army 2 more hits here in the 7th. They had just 3 hits total in the first 6 innings. Navy has just 3 hits through their first 6 at-bats of this game. Time is called as they toss back to second. Topping's 1-0, a little high, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. So Conley walk 5 batters in his 5 2/3 innings to start this game, and then Zack the 1 intentional walk in the 7th. So 6 free passes plus a hit batter in this game. Now the pitch here is low, and Topping, who walked the lone batter that he faced yesterday, now in jeopardy of walking Walden to load up the bases. Army had bases loaded, 2 outs in the 6th inning. Couldn't get another run home. Now you'd imagine Walden's going to be taking here on a 3-0 pitch. He does, and picks it up high for a ball. Everybody kind of stopped thinking that was going to be a called strike, but it's a walk there, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs for the 2nd consecutive inning, and this time it's Jeremiah Adams with the opportunity. So a big spot here for Army, trying to break this one open here in the top of the 7th inning. They've already retaken the lead after they tied it in the 6th. The RBI single by White here in the 7th has given Army the lead. And Hodge is going to go out and have a chat here with Topping. With Hurtaby's over at 3rd, White hit that go-ahead RBI single. He's at 2nd, and now Walden drawing the walk is over at 1st. And a quick word from the senior Hodge to his pitcher Topping. He struck out a batter and walked a batter since coming into this inning here in the 7th. Runners at 2nd and 3rd belong to Zack, and a first pitch strike here to Adams. Adams 0 for 2 with a walk. He struck out his first 2 times up and then walked in the 6th inning. So Navy pitching now 4 walks and a hit batter over these last 2 innings. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Gets another one over for a strike, and quickly Topping, after the walk has come back, jumped ahead of Adams. No balls and 2 strikes. Sets 0-2 outside. Topping, not a big strikeout guy. Came into this outing only 20 strikeouts in 36 innings of work. So for the most part, hitters put the ball in play against him. But here so far, 2 batters faced, a strikeout and a walk. 1-2 offering now. Lays off a ball in the dirt. Good take there by Adams, and it's evened up at 2-2. Sets 2-2 pitch, crushed foul. Adams struck it well, but was pretty far out in front of it. Hit it over the deck there on the left field side, and so we'll reset and do it again here. Topping there on the mound, looking in for his sign from Hodge. Trying to keep this a 1-run game, and Hurtaby's distraction over at 3rd base, dancing off the bag there. There's Topping to step off the rubber. He sets, get a 2-2 pitch, down and away, and now it's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes, nowhere to put him. Runners will get a head start here. Hurtaby's from third. White from second, Walden from first. Adams was behind in the count, 0-2. Held off a couple, 3 straight pitches out of the zone, and so now it's a full count. And Hodge asks for time. Now he's ready, payoff pitch, swung on and hit in the air out towards center field, sending Samorian back, but playable, makes the catch, and Topping gets out of the jam here in the 7th inning. Wasn't easy, he loaded up the bases and then went to a 3-2 count, but he gets Adams to fly out, and the side is retired. Army, though, takes the lead back here in the 7th inning. They get a run on 2 hits, and for the 2nd consecutive inning, they leave the bases loaded.
We're in the bottom of the 7th, Army versus Navy baseball, and there's a pitching change with Army. Cam Opp takes the mound. He has been very dominant for Army in the bullpen over especially these last 2 seasons. He actually has a pretty interesting backstory. He initially attended William and Mary, was part of the ROTC program there, also played baseball. He ended up being cut from the team, so he transferred in to Army West Point as a walk-on. He not only made the team, but became an instant leader. Now he's a senior, he's a captain, and very vocal and displays great leadership for his team, Ben.
Thanks, Morgan, as Opp will try to keep this a 1-run game here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. So Army striking in the 6th and the 7th after Navy had taken that 1-run lead in the bottom of the 5th inning. They have retaken the lead and are now 9 outs away from their 2nd consecutive Patriot League baseball championship. And it's Cam Opp, 2nd team All-Patriot League a season ago, coming in to his 22nd game of the season. He'll deal with 8-9-1 here in the Navy lineup here in the 7th inning. Pitch is a strike, and the count's 0-1. So Wolf, Samorian, and Lowry here against Opp in the 7th. A guy who could, if he's throwing well, certainly throw the final 3 innings of this game. Pitch is a strike, and the count's 0-2. He's thrown 5 innings twice this year. Against Holy Cross, had 2 outings last weekend, both of them less than an inning, and a swing and a miss, and a good start there for Opp. Strikes out the first batter that he faces here on 3 pitches, and there's 1 away here in the 7th. So the afternoon for Burgraff is over, and he goes 6 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned, 3 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks. And after Army scores in the top of the 7th inning, he does leave the game in line for the victory. So the senior Burgraff trying to get the win for the 2nd consecutive weekend in a Game 3 winner-take-all. Samorian fouls off the first pitch, and the count's 0-1. So Opp on. Opp pitched in both of the wins for Holy Cross, or against Holy Cross rather, last weekend for Army. He got the final out of their first victory, and then pitched 2/3 of an inning in the 2nd game that ended after midnight last Sunday night, expecting for an earlier finish today. Pitch, chopper, right side. 2nd baseman Simos will throw to first, and Samorian is retired, so Opp 2 up and 2 down against him, and now it's Evan Lowry. Lowry tripled in the 5th inning and then scored what at that time was the go-ahead run for Navy. It was kind of a strange play. Hit the ball into the gap in left center field, and a late reaction by Walden going after it helped Lowry end up at third as he swings and misses at that one, and it's 0-1. And then it was Biggers who came through with the 2-out RBI single for Navy. But since that RBI single by Biggers, Army pitching has retired 6 in a row. They've scored in each of their last 2 at-bats. Pitch hit foul, and quickly Opp is ahead of the batter. No balls and 2 strikes. So Burgraff 6 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned, and now turning to their ace reliever Opp to pitch them back into the NCAA tournament for the 2nd consecutive season. Here's his 0-2 pitch. Fouled it off, first base side. Opp last year in the deciding game in the Patriot League Finals got the save as the pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out, and Opp sharp here in his first inning of work. 2 strikeouts, sets the side down in order here in the 7th. We'll head to the 8th, 3-2, Army leading Navy. Head to the 8th, it's 3-2. Army leading Navy. Ben Gordon Goldstein back with you. Morgan Uber on the sidelines for us here this afternoon in Game 3 of the Patriot League Championship Series. Army winning Game 1 on Friday night, 6-2. Navy the 4-2 victory yesterday, and now it's Army with a 3-2 lead here in the top half of the 8th inning. So Army is now 6 outs away in their 2nd consecutive Patriot League Championship. Cam Opp, a 1-2-3 bottom half of the 7th inning with 2 strikeouts, so he looked good, and now Navy is going to go back to their bullpen. 4th pitcher of the ball game here, it'll be Trey Brathwaite coming in, trying to keep this a 1-run game. We'll face 6, 7, 8 here, and the first pitch is outside, and the count's 1-0. John McKenna has been on base a couple of times in this game, couple of walks for him. He also struck out in the 4th. He was the last batter that Charlie Conley faced. And the pitch is fouled off, and it's evened up at 1-1. So Zack gives up the run in the 7th inning, now in line for the loss. Topping got the final 2 outs of the 7th inning to keep it a 1-run game, and Brathwaite on here in the 8th, also trying to keep it a 1-run game. Pitch is hitting the air down the right field line, but it'll get out of play. And it's 1-2. So McKenna, Simos, and then Brendan Sirianni, who came in to catch in the last half inning, due up here. So Sirianni will get his first at bat of the game. Now the 1-2 pitch is hitting the air out towards right field, right in towards Wolf, who comes in, makes the catch, and there's one away here in the 8th for Simos. Army took their starting catcher out in the 7th inning. Blake Ledoux is at second, brought in the pinch runner Carter Macias, and turned out to work as Josh White was able to knock in Macias from second base. So Ledoux out, Sirianni in is on deck, and Simos to the plate. The pitch down and away, and the count is 1-0. Army that run in the 1st inning, RBI single by Jaquin, then Navy scored runs in the 4th and the 5th as that one's hit up in the air out towards right center field. Wolf over, and back-to-back plays out in right field for Wolf. 2 up and 2 down here against Brathwaite, and now Sirianni will get his first at bat. Sirianni, 175 hitter on the season. This is his 31st game of the year. No home runs, 9 runs batted in. Brathwaite looking for a quick 1-2-3 inning here in the top of the 8th inning. The pitch is a strike, and the count is 0-1. Brathwaite, Navy's closer through much of the season, 10 saves this year. Did blow the save there against Lafayette in the second game of the PL semis. Only gave up 9 runs this year, but 7 of them came in his last 5 outings. It's the pitch is a ball, and it's 2-1. So prior to his first outing against Army on April 21st, he had a .90 ERA. The pitch is low for a ball, and it's 3-1, but gave up 3 runs in back-to-back outings, and then gave up a run to Lafayette the last time he pitched. Saw the ERA go up to 3. Now the 3-1 pitch is low, and Sirianni draws the 2-out walk here in his first action of this series.
Now batting forward, Drake Titus.
And Drake Titus will come to the plate. So 2-out base runner. Titus, 4th trip to the plate, 0 for 2. He had a sac bunt in the 7th. The pitch is up high, and the count is 1-0. It was on Titus's sac bunt that Jackson Zack looked over to second to try to throw out the then base runner Ledoux. But nobody was covering second, so they had to take the out over at first, and then that spot ended up scoring. Ball in the hole, and it'll get just past the diving Koritz and into left field, and all of a sudden, after Brathwaite had retired back-to-back hitters to start the 8th, a walk and a single, and now Hurtubise, who has not been retired in this game, will come to the plate, trying to tag on an insurance run. Sirianni at second, Titus at first, and here's Hurtubise, 2 for 2 with 2 walks and 2 runs scored. Pitch is down low, and the count's 1-0. So Brathwaite, couple of flyouts to right to start this inning, but then he walked Sirianni. Titus just snuck one through the hole on the left side, and now has to deal with Hurtubise, who has been on base 4 more times in this game. On base percentage up to .540 now on the year as the pitch up high, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Extended his on base streak in this game, extended his hitting streak, and Navy has not been able to figure out a way to retire him really through any of the 8 games that the 2 teams have played now this year. 2-0, high and away, and now Navy in jeopardy of loading up the bases for the 3rd consecutive inning. Army left them loaded in the 6th and the 7th. They had already scored a run in each of those innings and then loaded up the bases with 2 outs. And now a ball away from doing the same thing here in the 8th. Pitch does get that one over for a strike, and it's 3-1. Really, Army's had a couple of chances to break this game open, but to this point, still just a 1-run game, 3-2. We're in the top half of the 8th inning. The 3-1 pitch, fouls it off, and now it's full, 3-2. Navy pitching has thrown 146 pitches so far in this game. And another full count here, with 2 outs in the 8th inning. Runners will get a head start from 1st and 2nd. They go, the pitch up high. It goes off the glove of the catcher. Taking a turn around 3rd is Sirianni, but he'll stop there. It'll just be a walk to Hurtubise, who has now been on base all 5 times he's come to the plate. And for the 3rd consecutive inning, Army has loaded up the bases. And Bobby Applegate is going to go out and have a word here with Brathwaite. So he retired 2 in a row to start the inning, then a walk, a single, and another walk. Hurtubise has walked 3 times in this game, a couple of singles for him. He's been on base all 5 times. And now Bobby Applegate talking to Brathwaite after the 2nd walk of the inning. 9th walk for Navy pitching in this game. As it has not been easy for them. 147 pitches combined between Conley, Zack, Topping, and Brathwaite. And Bobby Applegate will head back to the dugout, and Josh White, who had the go-ahead RBI single there in the 7th inning, get another opportunity for Army. Sirianni at 3rd, Titus at 2nd, Hurtubise at 1st. 2 outs here on the top of the 8th inning. The pitch, check swing, fouled it back. And it counts 0-1. So White's been on base twice in this game, hit by a pitch in the 6th. RBI signal for him in the 7th inning. So now 3 hits in the 2 games that he has played here in games 2 and 3. The Patriot League Championship Series. He did not play at all last weekend against Holy Cross. 0-1 gets that one over for a strike, and now it's 0-2 to White. Maybe trying to strand the bases loaded for the 3rd consecutive inning here in the 8th. We got Simos in the 6th, Adams in the 7th, and now it's White here in the 8th. Time is called. Brathwaite's 0-2 pitch upstairs. It's 1-2. Brathwaite, 33 strikeouts, 8 walks on the year coming into this outing in 27 innings of work, but has walked 2 so far, and 3 straight have reached with 2 outs. Here's his 1-2 pitch. Now swung on and hit off the end of the bat out towards right center field. Samorian dives and he makes the catch. What a play there by Samorian. Would have cleared the bases. Instead, White is robbed of extra bases, and it keeps it a 1-run game. Full extension for Joe Samorian there. And for the 3rd consecutive inning, Army strands the bases loaded as we take another look at it there. And maybe the best part of it, Zack Biggers, before Samorian had even caught the ball, was fist pumping behind second base, but Samorian keeps it a 1-run game here in the 8th inning. 3rd straight inning, Army strands the bases loaded. So still a 3-2 game here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Army leading Navy, and Army leaving the bases loaded for the 3rd consecutive inning, but this time it's because of a tremendous defensive play that we take another look at there. And Samorian, full extension there, catching the ball that was hit into the alley there by Josh White, and he keeps it a 1-run game, as that certainly would have cleared the bases for Army. So instead of it being a 6-2 game, it is still a 3-2 game, and Navy will have 2-3-4 due up here in the 8th against Cam Opp, who was sharp in the 7th and throws a first pitch strike to begin the 8th inning. Koritz, Biggers, Stevens here in the 8th inning. The 0-1 pitch to Koritz is another strike, and it's 0-2. Opp came in 1-2-3 inning in the 7th, struck out 2 batters. He threw 10 pitches, 9 strikes, and now has thrown 2 strikes to begin this at bat against Koritz. He does throw a ball in the dirt, and it's 1-2. Koritz hitless today. He's 0 for 3. couple of ground outs, and he flied out to center in the third. Now here's the 1-2 pitch, swinging a chopper left side of the infield. Shortstop White will throw it across, and Kuritz is retired. So that's now 8 in a row that Army pitching has retired since Zach Biggers, who comes to the plate now, hit the 2-out RBI single in the 5th inning. But since then, Navy has not been able to do anything offensively. Burgraff retired the final 4 that he faced, and now Opp has retired all 4 that he has faced. And so it's Zach Biggers stands in. First pitch, a little low, and the count's 1-0. Biggers 1 for 3, the RBI single in the 5th. He also stole a base in that 5th inning. That time gave Navy a 2-1 lead. Now the pitch is down and in, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Burgraff started this game for Army. 6 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned, and now turning it over to Opp here. Try to pitch them back into the NCAA tournament. Pitch is swung on and hit in the air deep. Left field, Walden back to the track at the wall. It's gone! Zach Biggers, what a time for his first home run of the season, and this game is tied up at 3 here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. The dugout empties to congratulate Biggers. Talked about it throughout the last couple of days as he is mobbed there going back to the dugout. Wind blowing out towards that part of the park. Humid conditions, ball's gonna carry well. And another look, and Biggers just got that one up over the wall there onto the grass hill in left field, and his first home run of the season. And couldn't come at a bigger time. As the count, 1 ball, or no balls and a strike to Stevens as he fouled off the first pitch, and now a ball, and it's evened up at a ball and a strike. So all square once again here in the bottom half of the 8th inning, 3-3. And now the pitch, swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. For Opp, it's the 2nd home run he's allowed this season. Now his 22nd appearance of the year. Here's the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and a good bounce back there for Opp. He strikes out Stevens, 3rd strikeout, now 2 away here for Christian Hodge. Biggers, a guy that hit 4 home runs in his freshman year, but since then, only had 1 his sophomore year and didn't have any this year. So popping one there to tie up this game, and now here's Hodge, who led everybody in the Patriot League in home runs. And the first pitch is low, and it counts 1-0. So Samorian saves the game in the top of the 8th inning for Navy. The diving catch in the alley in right center field. Army leaves the bases loaded 3 straight innings. And now it's Biggers here in the bottom half of the 8th inning, tying up the ball game. And Biggers coming through with the last 2 hits for Navy. The RBI single in the 5th that at that time gave Navy the lead, and now the game tying home run in the 8th. And now it's 3 balls and no strikes here to Hodge. High and away, ball 4, so Hodge draws the 2-out walk.
Now batting number 21, Liam Lowry.
And Liam Lowry, who does have an RBI in this game, will come to the plate. Lowry was 2nd on Navy in home runs with 7 of them on the season, but also Might have been pitching around Hodge a little bit there. Set up the lefty-lefty matchup with Lowry. But it does put the go-ahead run over at first base with 2 outs here in the inning. Pitch. Tipped it at the plate, and that counts 0-1. So Lowry had that sac fly in the 4th inning that at that time tied up the game 1-1. The pitch low, and it's evened up at 1-1. Lowry's got an RBI in all 3 games of this series. 3 RBIs against Lafayette. Pitch is down and away, and now it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Up a 10-pitch, 1-2-3 7th inning. Then he got an easy ground ball out to begin the 8th and gave up the home run to Biggers, and now his 2-1, swing and a miss, and it's evened up at 2-2. Came back with the strikeout of Stevens before walking Hodge, and now is a strike away. From getting out of this bottom of the 8th. 2-2 pitch, swinging a little liner out towards left center field, and that'll drop in there for a base hit. Hodge is going to try to go first to third, and he will. Great base running there by Hodge, just continued through. And a little inside-out base hit by Lowry. And now Navy has the go-ahead run 90 feet away. And it's Jacob Williamson coming to the plate. How quickly things have turned. Army was 5 outs away from their 2nd straight Patriot League Tournament Championship, but then Biggers popped the home run, and now Navy is 90 feet away from taking the lead back. Ops pitch to Williamson is down low, and it counts 1-0. Op has thrown 11 wild pitches this year, tied for the most on Army. The 1-0 pitch is a little jam shot roller that is foul. So the count evened up at 1-1. Williamson's 1 for 3. Coming off a 2-hit game yesterday. Now here's the 1-1 pitch to him. That's hit foul, and now Op is a strike away from getting this game to the 9th inning tied. Here's the 1-2 pitch, swinging a grounder over to third. Jakeen bobbles the ball, now picks it up, throws to first, and it's just ahead of the head-first dive by Williamson, and the side is retired. So a little trouble for Jakeen there over at third base, but Army escapes the jam and keeps it a tie ball game. Navy ties it up here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The solo shot by Biggers will head to the 9th. So a whole new game, 3-3 here as we head to the 9th. Zack Biggers tying it up in the bottom half of the 8th inning with his first home run of the season. So 3-3. Brathwaite, who got out of the bases loaded jam because of a tremendous diving catch from Joe Samorian in the top half of the 8th inning. Come back out here for the 9th, trying to keep this a tie game. He'll deal with 3-4-5 in the Army lineup. Anthony Jakeen, who's 1 for 4, stand in from the left side of the plate to lead things off. And Brathwaite's first pitch, swing and miss. And it counts 0-1. Brathwaite retired the first 2 batters of the 8th inning, and then allowed 3 straight to reach before Samorian made the game-saving catch. It was the 0-1 strike, and the count is 0-2. Jakeen an RBI single in the first, but since then, Navy's been able to retire him 3 times in a row. He did go 0 for 4 yesterday. 0-2 up high, and it's 1-2. So Brathwaite walked 2 and gave up a single there in the 8th. And got 3 fly ball outs. Here's the 0-2 pitch, swinging a liner down the left field line. That's going to be in there for a base hit, and that's going to go all the way to the wall. Jeopardy around first. He's heading for second. Lowry a little trouble playing it out of the corner, but Jeopardy will stop at second. And the All-Patriot League sophomore has a leadoff double, and now that go-ahead run for Army is in scoring position here in the 9th. So a back-and-forth afternoon here between Army and Navy. Army led 1-0, Navy led 2-1, Army led 3-2, and now a 3-3 game, but Jeopardy, the go-ahead run is at second with nobody out, and Andre Walden will come to the plate. Walden is bunting and pulls back on a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Walden 4 sack bunts this season, and when he gets it down, also have to worry about the speed for him. He was second in the conference in stolen bases, 25 steals on the year, so it's also a threat to leg it out if he lays down a good bunt. And Kuritz creeping in behind Jeopardy. Army had opportunities to extend their lead in the 6th, 7th, and 8th. Bases loaded all 3 innings, and now another chance here in the 9th. Pitch is bunted back towards the mound. Brathwaite is just going to take the shore out over at first, and it moves that go-ahead run over to third with only 1 out in the inning. Brathwaite making that throw over to first where Wilcox, who has come in as a defensive replacement for Stevens, is playing. And Jeremiah Adams now will come to the plate. So Navy's got to bring the infield in all the way around now. Runner at third with 1 out here in a 3-3 game in the top of the 9th inning. Winner take all game 3 here. Adams 0 for 3 with a walk. Should bunt on the first pitch. Now throw back to third, and it's not in time. Army thinking squeeze play there, but a pitch way out of the zone. Adams couldn't get the bunt down on it, and Jeopardy nearly caught off of third base as he was way down the line, slipped a bit, and then went diving back to the bag. So something else to keep an eye on, the squeeze play here. Here's the 1-0 pitch, no bunt shown there, and now it's 2-0. Adams struck out his first 2 times up, walked in the 6th, and then flied out to center to end the 7th inning. So he had a chance with the bases loaded in the 7th, was not able to come through with the 2-out hit, and now it's a chance with the runner at third here. Pitch, fouled it off, and it's 2-1. 9 runners left on base here over the last 3 innings for Army. Let's see if they can come through here after the leadoff double by Jeopardy. Zack bunt moved into third. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Bunting there, and he bunts through it. Now a snap throw back to third, and it went off the runner there. Caromed harmlessly the third base line. So it's a 2-2 count here. Couple of times trying to get that bunt down for the squeeze play. Adams not able to do so either time. And so now 2 strikes on him here. Navy's infield remains in here. There's the set and the 2-2 pitch. Crowd wanted the call there. Didn't get it. Plate umpire said it was inside, and now it's 3-2. Now the payoff pitch to him. Swung a little blooper out towards left. That's going to drop in there for a base hit and score the go-ahead run. Jeopardy scores from third. Adams comes through. Army leads 4-3 here in the ninth. And the Navy side continues to be displeased with the call on the pitch before. They thought they had a called third strike that would have put Adams down. And instead, on the very next pitch, a little jam shot bloop to left. And Matt Hudgens now is going to pinch hit here for John McKenna. And so, an inning after Navy tied it in the bottom of the 8th inning on the Biggers home run. Army comes back out here in the 9th inning. Jeopardy leadoff double, sack bunt, and Adams knocks him in. And so Army has retaken the lead, and now, regardless of what happens the rest of the top of the 9th inning, Army is 3 outs away from back-to-back titles. So here's Hudgens with the runner over at first base and 1 out. First pitch is a strike, and the count's 0-1. Hudgens 3 for 17 on the season. He did get a pinch hit at bat yesterday and drew a walk. Throw to first. McKenna was 0 for 2 with a couple of walks. DH for Army, and now the 0-1 pitch, a little high, and it's evened up at 1-1. So a 3-2 ball hit to shallow left, and right now that's the difference in this game, scoring Jeopardy from third. And here's the 1-1 outside, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. So Army finally gets that hit with a runner in scoring position after they left them loaded in the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th. Number of chances to extend their leads during that time. Weren't able to do so. Maybe tied it in the bottom of the 8th inning. Now the 2-1 runner was going. Koritz is going to dive to second where he does get the lead runner as Adams took off there. And Koritz was close enough to the bag that he could make a diving play. And it'll be a pinch runner here. So you take another look at it here. Koritz just diving ahead of the foot there of Hudgens, or rather of Adams. And now Anthony Crompton is going to pinch run here for Hudgens. With 2 outs. And Tim Simos will come to the plate. So Brathwaite just trying to get that final out, keep it a 1-run game, and as we saw in the 8th inning, keep it within 1 swing of the bat for Navy. As the first pitch up and in, and the count is 1-0. Simos 0 for 3, sack bunt in the second. A couple of flyouts and also hit into a fielder's choice that ended the 6th inning. Pitch again up and in, and it's 2-0. Simos was the batter that had the first crack at it with the bases loaded in that 3-inning stretch. And after Navy brought in Jackson Zack, Simos hit the very first pitch that he saw to short. So he tossed to first. Crompton dives back in safely. Simos hit the first pitch he saw to short, and they got the force out at second to get out of that jam. Now the 2-0 delivery, swing and a miss, and it's 2-1. But another long inning for the Navy pitching staff. Brathwaite has now thrown 42 pitches in an inning and 2/3. And time is called here. Simos is going to go over and talk to his head coach and third base coach, Jim Foster. But 170 pitches total for the 4 pitchers on the Navy side in this game. Charlie Conley, 105 pitches in 5 2/3 innings. And Zack came on 2/3 of an inning, topping 2/3 of an inning. And here's Brathwaite trying to get through 2 innings, but has given up the go-ahead run here in the top of the 9th. 2-1. It's a check swing roller. Brathwaite off the mound will flip to first, and this side is retired. But not before Army takes the lead back here in the 9th inning. They get a run on 2 hits, and they leave a runner on base. We'll head to the bottom half of the 9th inning. So we head to the bottom half of the 9th inning, and Army has retaken the lead in this game. The go-ahead RBI single by Jeremiah Adams, scoring Anthony Jaquin. The top of the 9th inning, and now Cam Opp trying to finish off the final 3 outs of this game. He was sharp in the 7th, but in the 8th gave up the game-tying home run and also allowed a couple of 2-out base runners. And now here in the 9th inning, we'll deal with 8-9-1 in the Navy lineup. Matt Wolf's spot in the lineup, but it won't be Wolf. It'll be Christian Policelli, who will start things off here for Navy. Policelli, a .302 hitter with 3 home runs and 19 runs batted in here in his freshman season. And then it'll be Samorian, another freshman, and Evan Lowry due up here in this inning against the left-hander Opp. And Army up by a run and 3 outs away. Pitch down and away, and the count's 1-0. Four pitches so far for Opp. Pitch is a strike, and it's evened up at 1-1. Again, Opp has gone 5 innings a couple of times this season, so stretching him out a bit. No trouble for him. It's the 1-1, big cut and a miss, and now it's 1-2. Season high 69 pitches against Bucknell earlier this year. He's thrown 60 or more a few times, so he's in fine shape as far as pitches go. And now the 1-2 pitch, swung and popped him up on the infield. Left side, 3 converging. It's the shortstop White who calls for it. And 1 away here in the 9th inning, and here's Samorian. Samorian 0 for 2 with a walk. First pitch to him is a strike, and it's 0-1. Back and forth the entire day. Army's led on 3 different occasions. The pitch is a ball, and it's 1-1. Army led 1-0, 3-2, and now 4-3, and 2 outs away. Finishing this off. Here's the 1-1 inside, and it's 2-1. Evan Lowry waits on deck. Here's the 2-1 delivery. That's a knee-high strike, and it's 2-2. Samorian, a guy who hit over 300 here in his freshman season. Now the 2-2 pitch, a chopper over to second. Simos is there. He throws the first and 2 away here in the 9th inning. So Opp, who ran into the trouble in the 8th inning, has come back here out in the 9th, retired the first 2 batters, pop out and a ground out. And now Opp is 1 out away from finishing this off. There's Evan Lowry, who did triple in the 5th inning. And at that time, score go-ahead run that put Navy in front 2-1. He's 1 for 4 in this game. Sets. First pitch to Lowry, takes it high and away, and the count's 1-0. Lowry faced Opp in the 7th inning, and he struck out. Now Opp trying to put the finishing touches on Army's 2nd straight Patriot League title. Here's the 1-0 pitch, swinging a grounder, and that'll get through the hole for a base hit. Navy puts the tying run aboard, extends the game as Lowry with his 2nd hit of the ball game. And so that tying run is on base here for Navy. Michael Kuritz will come to the plate. And looming in the on-deck circle is the man that tied it in the 8th, Zack Biggers. Kuritz grounded out when he faced Opp in the 8th inning. Lowry being held on at first, and now Opp will step off. 3rd hit that Opp has allowed. Toss to first. A little high there. See a couple throwing out there in the Army bullpen, but right now, it's Opp's inning. 2 outs and a runner at first base facing Kuritz. First pitch to him, looks at a strike. It's 0-1. Kuritz 0 for 4 in this game. 3 groundouts and a flyout. Here's the 0-1 pitch to him, swing and a miss. And now, Opp has Navy down to their final out, final strike. Here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Time is called. Opp, 0-2 pitch, just got a piece of it. Fouls it off over the Navy on deck circle. It remains 0-2. 47 pitches now for Opp in 2 2/3 innings. Looking for one final out here in the 9th. He sets, 0-2 pitch, swinging a chopper left side, backhanded by White. He'll go the short way to second. They get the force out, and Army wins the Patriot League title for the 2nd consecutive season. A mob scene on the mound there for Army, as they are headed back to the NCAA tournament here in 2019. Jeremiah Adams, the first baseman, JUCO transfer, comes through in the top of the 9th with the go-ahead RBI single. Anthony Jeopardy, who has been such a big part of this squad all season long, led the Patriot League in runs batted in, but it was Jeopardy who scored the winning run in the top of the 9th inning. And Army, off the bat of Jeremiah Adams, wins this game by the final score of 4-3. And for a 2nd consecutive season, Army will celebrate here in Annapolis. You can see them right outside the mound with the trophy there. Army going back to the NCAA tournament. 2nd straight year, first back-to-back Patriot League champions since Army did it in 2012 and 2013. And what a game here this afternoon. Tight the entire day. Neither team had more than a run lead the entire afternoon. Army led 1-0. Navy led 2-1. Army led 3-2. Zack Biggers tied it in the bottom of the 8th inning with a solo home run. make it 3-3, and then Army in the top of the 9th inning. Go-ahead RBI single by Jeremiah Adams, and Army again with that 4-3 victory here this afternoon as Cam Opp pitches the final 3 innings of this game. He blows the save, but he gets his 5th win of the year going the final 3 innings. And Daniel Burgraff, who started this game for Army, also very good. He left the game in line for the win, ends up going 6 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned on 3 hits. And it's Army who is headed back to the NCAA tournament, an NCAA tournament that they played well in a season ago, winning a game against NC State before dropping 2 in a row, but they will get another opportunity to head to an NCAA regional after winning for the 2nd consecutive year here in Annapolis at Max Bishop Stadium. So Army celebrates here in Annapolis for a 2nd consecutive season, and that'll just about do it for us here from Annapolis. Army is your Patriot League champion for the 2nd consecutive season. They will head to the NCAA tournament. A 3-game series, decisive best of 3, and here today, Army wins it by the final score of 4-3. For our entire Patriot League Network crew, and Morgan Uber down on the sidelines, I'm Ben Gordon Goldstein. Thanks for listening. Army is headed back to the NCAA tournament.